Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another delightful edition of the program CAC Weekly, a weekly program that keeps you abreast on the activities and the achievement of the Corporate Affairs Commission. I am Amina Jibril. Coming up on the program, we take a holistic look at the one-man company, and then the new requirement to register incorporated trustees comes on the focus. We'll be right back after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. In continuation of his working visit to state offices, the Registrar General and CEO of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Alhaji Garba Abubakar, visited the CAC Lagos Island office. During the visit, the Registrar General inspected facilities at the office and charged staff to continue to ensure efficient and effective services to customers. The Registrar General was received by the head of the office, Mr. Rudy Agama, who is the Assistant Director, and who also expressed delight with the Registrar General's visit, and on behalf of the staff, pledged their commitment and dedication to the service of the Commission and the nation. We now move on to CAMA 2020. Now the CAMA 2020 is undoubtedly embedded with so many initiatives that are aimed at changing the business environment. Some of these initiatives include the one-man company. The one-man company or the one-person company, depending on preference, is often defined as a company that has only one person as its member. Furthermore, members of a company are nothing but subscribers to its memorandum of association or its shareholders. So one-man company is effectively a company that has only one shareholder as its member. Such companies are generally created when there is only one founder or promoter for the business. Now, entrepreneurs whose businesses lie in early stages prefer to create one-person company instead of a sole proprietorship business because of the several advantages that the one-man company offers. A sole proprietorship form of business might seem very similar to one-person companies because they both involve a single person owning the business, but there are some differences between them. Mr. Justin Nidia Biraul, Director, Commission Secretariat, explains the one-man company for us. Have a look.
Good to have you on the program again.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And for those who will be wondering, what is a one-man company again? Because they are used to sole proprietorship, limited liability company. What is one-man company all about? Well,
the idea of one-man company came in with the new legal regime, that's Company and Allied Matters Act 2020. It was part of the wider reform aimed at promoting ease of doing business and global competitiveness. What it means is that before now, we didn't have the framework for registering one-man company.
Okay.
But with the new CAMA, that has been made possible.
Okay.
Yes.
So how does he operate? How does he or she rather operate? I'm sure it's not only a man that will register one man.
Yes.
A woman too can register as one man.
Yes.
Okay.
It's open for an adult that is 18 years and above.
Okay.
Yes, and it was deliberately brought in to make it possible for a businessman that has the requisite capital to go ahead, if he doesn't desire to partner with any other person, to go ahead and register his own business as a limited liability company and carry on his business. So before now, for you to register a company at all, you required a minimum of 2 people. So in certain circumstances, that compels a man to have a partner, even if he does not desire to do so. So, but with this new legal regime now, if you have money, you can go ahead and register and start carrying on your business straight ahead. Okay.
What's the difference between the one-man company and the sole proprietorship? Is the one-man company same as limited liability company?
Yes, the one-man company is basically a company. It is different from a business name because the sole proprietorship is a business name.
Okay.
And the major difference is that the one-man company has a legal personality. So it will exist in perpetuity. Yes.
Okay. What are some of the benefits or the advantages, if you say, of a one-man company?
Well, like we begin to say, it makes things easier for a person that does not desire to partner with any person to carry on his business as a company. That is number one. Number two, it confers on him what we call the legal personality. What it means is that unlike the sole proprietorship, even if the one man that registered the company dies, the company does not die with him.
Okay.
So the assets of the company are still available to creditors.
Okay.
So that gives the creditors some level of assurance in dealing with a company rather than a sole proprietorship.
Okay.
Yeah.
What more are some of the advantages?
The other advantages are that one, it gives room for flexibility in decision making.
Okay.
Like, for instance, the two-man company, you are required to hold what we call annual general meeting, extraordinary general meeting, and directors meeting, and record all their proceedings. Under the one-man company, the requirement for meetings, both annual and extraordinary general meeting, is not there.
Okay.
So the one-man shareholder can take a decision and go ahead and implement the decision straight away.
So it saves him time and money of organizing annual meetings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one also is that, like we said, even if he dies, what we call the legal heir can decide on whether he will take up the shares and go ahead and run the company, or he will decide to sell the company to another person.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. For the one-man company, is he having a one director or one shareholder, or is he the director and the shareholder? He or she, rather. Sorry.
Well, he can choose to be the sole shareholder and the sole director.
Okay.
Yes, but the law also allows him, if he desires to do so, to appoint two directors, two or more directors.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's flexibility.
There is
as far as appointing directors is concerned.
Yes.
So let's go to the annual returns. Does the one-man company make annual returns? To the commission?
Yes. The one-man company, like any other company, is required to file annual return each year. The only difference is that unlike the other types of company that are likely to that are required, to attach their financial statement, the one-man company is not required to attach his financial statement.
Okay.
So that makes it easier for him to file his annual return.
Okay, so he can file his annual returns without making his financial, without
attaching his financial statement.
Oh, okay. So that's another huge advantage, isn't it?
Yes.
For those who want to open their books.
Yes. And what that also means is that he is not required to appoint an external auditor to audit his books.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And also is not required if it is not what we call a big company, is not required to appoint a company secretary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For those who be wondering, what is the requirement to register a one-man company?
Well, the requirement is the same with any other company. Yes, like we said, he has to get the approval of the name. He has to pay on the platform of, that's the CRP platform. He has to pay the stamp duty fees. He has to pay the filing fees. He has to fill the online form.
Okay.
Then when he fills the form correctly, he will submit it. It will be vetted, and if it is approved, his certificate will be sent to him also online to his email box.
Okay. All right. Now let's go to a scenario of a businessman who has a one-man company today, or who registers a one-man company today, and then in the next 1 year or 2 years, he's now richer and bigger, and then he wants to expand to a two-man company or a three-man company. Can he do that? That's the first question. And how will he do that? Or how will he or she do that?
Well, looking at the comma, if you are coming from the perspective of what we call re-registration, the law does not allow the one-man company to re-register as two-man company.
Okay.
But it allows him, if he has expanded, to do what we call a merger. He can merge with another one-man company, or he can also merge with a two-man company. So that will give him the opportunity to draw synergy from the other one if he desires to do so.
But that's a disadvantage, isn't it? Mr. A wants to expand, so why will he now go and merge with other people when he wants to expand?
Well, the idea is that he now thought, or he is now thinking that he has grown big.
Yes.
He needed additional person
to
run the company for him. So what it means is that he merges with another one, since what he desired is maybe diversity that is coming in from another company or another perspective altogether. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he cannot ordinarily expand without merger.
The merger is the expansion. The merger is informed by the...
What I'm saying, for those who don't want the idea of merging with anybody and wants to be, maybe appoint their own directors or their own shareholders in terms of expansion. Or he can just remain as a one-man company with his expansion, isn't it?
Now, we said before that if he wants to appoint two directors, he can always have two directors. What we are looking at is maybe now he was registered as a one-man company. He now wants probably to relinquish some of his shares to another person so that it can now become two-person company. We are saying that looking at the current legal framework, there is no provision for re-registration from one-man company to two-man company. But he can achieve the same objective by merging with another one-man company or merging with a company that has two members.
And talk us through, how is that done when you want to go for merger?
Well, there is a procedure for merger.
Okay.
Yes, in the Companies and Allied Matters Act.
Okay.
Usually, is one of the company has to give way for the other one to exist, or you could have another scenario in which you register a brand new company that will acquire the share of the one-man company.
Okay.
In which case, the one-man company will be formally wound up.
Okay. Let's look at it in other climes and other jurisdictions. How is it dealt with?
Well, there are slight differences between what we have and what is found in other jurisdictions. In other jurisdictions, for instance, the one-man company, there is a restriction that you are not allowed to have multiple one-man company.
Okay.
So what it means is that as a person, you will only be restricted to having one-man company.
Okay.
Yes. So there are other restrictions also that in the name of the company, you have to specifically state that the company is a one-man company, so that from the onset, people that are dealing with the company knows that the company is a one-man company. Those two restrictions are not in our law. So what it means is that one person can have more
than one company.
More than one-man company.
Okay.
Yes.
So he can have one-man company in multiples.
Multiple one-man companies.
Okay.
Then two, also that in the name, he is not required to state expressly that it is a one-man company.
Okay.
Yeah. So what it means is that the people that are dealing with the company have to do due diligence to find out whether the company is a two-man company or a one-man company.
Okay.
But in other jurisdictions, when you look at the name alone,
you will
know that this one is a one-man company. So there are those two differences between what we have and what you find in other climates. Yeah.
What is the prospects for people who want to go for a one-man company today?
Well, the prospects are broad in the sense that if you have the requisite capital, and for instance, if you have the specialization that you want to go into specific areas and you want to retain control over the affairs of your companies. Okay. The advantages or the benefits are broad, as wide as the industry, since it has the legal personality and it continues in perpetuity until it is wound up. Okay. So there is no restriction as to how much it can execute.
Okay. Yeah. The only issue is the transformation. That's where you might have a little bit of...
Even the transformation, there is no problem as such. Okay. Since at any point in time, the legal personality is guaranteed, the perpetual succession is guaranteed. Okay. So it's safe to deal with the company at any point in time.
Aside the one-man company, the CAMA 2020 also unveiled some new requirements for the registration of incorporated trustees. In a more clear term, incorporated trustees refers to the registration of non-governmental organizations, clubs, and associations. What are some of these requirements? Again, Mr. Justin Abirao rolls them out.
So let's move to the new requirement for the 2 trustees in the registration of incorporated trustees. We do understand, before now, it used to be 1 trustee. Before CAMA 2020, now it is 2 trustees. So what is the new requirement? Well, that's another transformation, isn't it?
Yes.
From 1 trustee to 2 trustees.
Yes, that was another innovation. But it was not that before now, you will have 1 trustee as such. What the law was at that time was that you could have 1 or more trustees. Now, it is that you should have 2 or more trustees. So what it means is that going forward, when you are registering what we call incorporated trustees, you will not be allowed to have a one-man incorporated trustees. And the changes were informed actually by what we call a lacuna that was spotted in the law. Now, when you look at the framework for registration of incorporated trustees, what is clear is that it is the trustees that are vested with what we call the legal personality. And if the legal personality is vested in the trustees, and there is only 1 trustee, if that trustee dies, what it means is that technically you have a lacuna in the office of the trustees. So the decision that is supposed to be taken by a trustee at that time, it should actually be suspended until another trustee or 1 or more trustees is appointed into that office. So in order to remove that lacuna in the law, there is a provision now that there should be a minimum of 2 trustees in an association, so that even if 1 of them dies, the other one will still be available to take decision on behalf of the association.
So what are some of the requirements?
Well, the requirement is the same, like any other registration of incorporated trustees. First, you will have the name approved. Then when you have the name approved, you will print or adopt the constitution on the portal of the commission. Then you are required to do publication in newspapers. Then you are required to do what we call meetings that will approve the registration and elect the trustees. Then the minutes of the meeting, the constitution, the publication, and the form, the form that is online. You will fill all of them and submit it through the portal. So once you do that and there is a valid application, it will be scrutinized, and when it is approved, the name is registered and your certificate is sent to you online.
So it's not difficult at all. It's a straightforward process.
It's a straightforward issue.
For those who be saying constitution, meetings, and all of that.
Well, there is a format. What the commission has done is to put a format on the portal, so that if your requirement doesn't go beyond what is the minimum standard, then you can adopt those ones on the portal.
Okay.
To make things easier for you.
Okay, and save you time.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Nidia Justin, Director, Board Secretary at Corporate Affairs Commission, thank you very much indeed for your time as always.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
It's now time to get practical as the upcoming video shows us how to seamlessly register incorporated trustees. Enjoy.
Registration of an incorporated trustee on the new CAC registration portal. In this video, you will learn how to register an association or incorporated trustee with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Let's begin. Step 1. Log on to pre.cac.gov.ng and log into your portal. If you do not have an account, click on Register on the top right corner of your screen to create an account. Step 2. On your dashboard, click on New Name Reservation. Pick Incorporated Trustees under Classification. Enter your proposed names. Pick New Incorporation as your reason for availability search. Click on Apply for Reservation Code button. This will bring up the reservation code application process page. Step 3. Pick the classification of your Association 1 and 2 and describe the association's classification. Ensure you fill all fields marked with a red asterisk and click on Save and Continue. Step 4. On the Constitution, specify the minimum or maximum number of trustees. Set the trustee tenure. Choose the custodian of the common seal. Choose the governing body of the association. State the application of funds. State how the account of the incorporated trustee will be kept, then click on Save and Continue. Step 5. Under Aims and Objectives, click on the Add Aims/Objectives button and state the aims or objectives of the association. Click the Add button, then click on Save and Continue. Step 6. On the trustee, you must add at least 2 trustees or more to proceed and ensure you add a secretary to the body of trustees. To add a secretary, pick and fill in the details of your designated secretary or a trustee who will also act as a secretary. If the secretary is a designated secretary only, click the box labeled Add as a Secretary Only after filling in the secretary's details. If a trustee will be acting as secretary, click the box labeled Add both trustee and secretary and click on Add Trustee and then click on Save and Continue. If you wish to hide the residential address of any of the trustees, click on the Hide Residential Address toggle button. Ensure you fill all fields marked with a red asterisk and click on Save and Continue. Step 7. Under Document Upload, if there are supporting documents which will facilitate your application for a reservation code, scan and upload here. Then click on Save and Continue to preview. Preview your entries and if satisfied, click on Save and Continue to proceed to payment. You can now proceed to make a newspaper publication in at least one national daily and at least one local newspaper in local circulation in the locality where the association will be registered. Obtain and keep the hard copies of those publications. Registration. After your application for consent has been approved, log on to your dashboard and click on the Reserved panel. Click the Start Registration button beside your reserved name. Step 1. Under Meetings, you can add different types of meetings and specify the quorum for each. Add your meetings and click on Save and Continue. Step 2. Under Source of Income, add the sources of income of the association and click Save and Continue. Step 3. Under Publications, fill in the details of the first and second newspaper publications you made and click on Save and Continue. Step 4. On the Document Upload, Scan and upload documents labeled yes, and where the documents labeled optional applies to you, scan and upload, then click save and continue to preview. Preview your entries, and if satisfied, click on save and continue to proceed to payment. When your registration has been approved, your certificate will be automatically generated on your registered panel, where you can download and print it.
And that's where we draw the curtain on this week's edition of the program CAC Weekly. We do hope you enjoyed watching. Now, for comments and inquiries, please take advantage of our social media handles and our helplines. Remember, on Twitter, it is at CAC Nigeria 1. On Instagram and Facebook, it is Corporate Affairs Commission. Our email is cservice@cac.gov.ng. You could also reach us via our website on www.cac.gov.ng. And our helplines are 081-822-99016 or 081-822-98971. 090-874-01598 or 090-874-01599 and 090-874-01600. Do join us next week for another interesting edition of the program. Same time, same station. From me, Amina Jibril, and the whole team, it is bye for now.